What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the new Jimmy and Eden podcast. Today we have Jimmy Champagne, myself, Eden Rotensky, and two lovely guests, Miranda Sanchez and Brian Albert. How are you guys doing?
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
I'm doing great. It's nice here. It's not freezing like it is back home or in Canada.
Yeah, it's yesterday it got up to 0 degrees Celsius, actually above
Oh,
it,
wow.
which was awesome. But everything started to melt, and then today it was minus 22 Celsius, which in Fahrenheit is just cold.
This makes me sad.
Yeah, it's been kind of gross.
It's just a lot gross.
It was cold enough here to cancel school.
Wow.
So I'm off school, but I hope I don't get a snow day tomorrow too,
Bullshit.
so I can play more Rust.
I've had one snow day in my life.
We might.
One.
Just one?
Yeah,
And it wasn't until university. Like, we would go to school when it was minus 40 outside, and we just wouldn't have recess.
It's not even safe. What about the kids who have to walk?
Well, they didn't usually end up getting there. They didn't start walking.
They died on the way.
But yeah, like I guess it's usually like minus 30-ish in the winter here, so people are just more used to it, right?
Sure.
Minus 30 Celsius?
Same.
Yeah.
What is that in real temperatures?
You mean Fahrenheit?
Yep.
Well, I think they meet up at minus 50.
Okay. That sounds terrible.
Somebody at home can calculate that for us, but it's cold. It's really cold.
I think okay.
Minus
So
anything
it's
is
cold.
The
We can
freezing
confirm.
point of water is 0.
Oh, jeez.
So.
Nope.
Okay. That sounds
So who
terrible.
wants to come to Saskatchewan for a live
Honestly.
cast?
Nope. No thanks.
It wouldn't be that different than what I'm going through right now. Like the snow here, it's never gotten warm enough for it to start melting, so it keeps piling up. So now outside our house, the trees look like bushes, and it's kind of funny.
My
Like the snow's
goodness.
that high. And my car, you can't even see my car anymore. Like, I don't think I could get into it if I tried. So I've just been kind of snowed in all weekend.
Well, yesterday here in good old Oklahoma, it was 60 degrees, so
Wow,
it's
it's
nice.
not ever going to be that warm
Yeah.
here for a long time.
Same here.
Ah, so jealous.
Where are you?
Yes.
Brian, you're in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, I'm out in East Bay, about an hour and a half east of San Francisco.
Okay. Is it raining a lot there?
No, not at all. It's nice. It's like 60 degrees and sunny.
Jesus Christ. Ah, so jealous. I'm just waiting for spring break. Just waiting, because we're going to Florida. Cannot wait. Just to be in warm. I can't even handle this. It's too cold. But it has given me a lot of time to play some games. So we should start talking about what everyone's been playing this week. Brian, you want to start?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. I played
Okay.
Minecraft on PS3.
Oh yeah, you reviewed it.
I did. That caused some problems. I gave it a 9.5. It's really good. It's not as good as the PC version because there are memory limitations and invisible walls that you bump into, especially when you're playing with other
Ooh.
people and you try to spread out, so you don't build over each other's stuff. Yeah, that can be problematic. But other than that, I mean, it's the same game that's been out for a few years, just with the updates. You know, it's Minecraft. It's awesome. I'm actually playing the PC one because we're gonna go back and look at doing a re-review of that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not even really the same game as it was when it was reviewed. But I don't know. That's kind of an older game. I'm sure we've talked about Minecraft plenty before. But the game I've been playing that's a little newer is Rust, and you've been playing that as well, right, Jimmy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was on another podcast and with Mitch Dyer, and we were going to just talk about Rust the entire time. So I was like, "Oh, I'll play it." So I actually have something to talk about, and I fell hard into it.
Yeah, I only played
I
for
got it on
2 or 3 hours.
Thursday.
And how much have you put into it?
Okay. 27.
What do you
hours.
do? I guess you're snowed in.
Jeez.
Holy
Thursday.
shit.
Yeah, that's like all I've been doing. So I've stayed up till 5 past 2 nights playing it. It is so insanely good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Um,
So I got in there, and so Mitch, one of my coworkers, was like, "Oh, hey, we got this awesome like guild, and we're raiding people and doing all these crazy things." but he won't let anyone new in until they've like suffered first and they understand what this game is about.
Right.
And so I'm just out there
Yep.
naked, hitting a tree with a rock. I got killed twice by random angry men.
Oh,
It's just
Brian, you have it easy. Only
I
twice?
can't.
Must be nice.
Yeah, only twice. But I remember their names. I will
remember.
kill them someday.
I've also
That's
been
my
playing
goal.
recently, and it is my
Yeah.
goal.
Write down people's names.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some names. But yeah, I made a hand cannon and a bow, and so I'm starting to get some traction. I've hidden a stash somewhere so that even though I keep dying, I'm still kind of building up. Hopefully that doesn't get raided. No, it's really cool.
Yeah.
What do you think of it overall?
I love it. See, these kind of games, they honestly, it's the same thing with strategy games for me. They don't sound fun to me, and then I'm like, I don't really want that. And then someone will put me in a situation where I have to play it, and then I just love them. So I wasn't into this game for a long time, and then I was kind of forced into get in. Like, I just love everything I've had to do. But playing single player, I can't believe you have what you have just playing by yourself, because I'm not on the same server as you guys. I'm on one where people hoard Kevlar and M4s, and we all fight over one base basically. But
Oh no.
I was dying and dying and dying. And then there were two of us, and having two people is just so invaluable. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. Like the people that will kill you are jerks, but I ran into a few people who were like, "Oh, hey, I know you. You're Mitch's friend," and they gave me some cloth so I can make a sleeping bag and control my spawn point.
Oh, nice.
Finally, there
Right.
are a few nice people, but no, most of them they're just like, "Identify yourself," and then while I'm figuring out how to talk, they just kill me.
Aw. I was playing yesterday. I first
Yeah.
started basically yesterday down, and I was just kind of walking. I found the road. I was trying to find my friends, and it literally took me 3 hours to find my friends. Like, that was all my game was, just trying to meet up with them. Like, I literally
Wow.
saw them, and then someone would come in and kill us, and then we'd have to try to meet up again. Like, I kept spawning at random places that was too far for me to get to them, so I just kept committing suicide or like running straight into zombies. I'm like, hey guys, have my brains. But eventually
Yep, it's a griefer's paradise. They're just
finally-
awful.
finally met up
Yeah.
with them. So glad to have been taken.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, the
Definitely-
first
oh,
thing
what's
to
up?
do is a sleeping bag. Just sleeping bag is so important.
Yeah, but then it's
Because if
like,
you
where's
die,
your
you respawn
cloth?
it.
Like, how do you get cloth to make a sleeping bag? I didn't know.
Yeah.
So you have to kill like an animal and get a hatchet and get the cloth. I don't know. It's so confusing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of how Minecraft
you
was
kinda
when
learn,
they
though, like-
started, though. Like, and now they have the Wikipedia, or not Wikipedia, wikis. Like, I can't imagine playing Minecraft now without the wikis. 'Cause I've had to
Oh
look
yeah,
things up
it's
so much.
it's changed a lot. Like on the PS3 one, to jump back to that really quick, all the crafting is built into the interface now, the recipes. So that's really nice. But I've been playing the PC one a lot, like just an hour ago, and it's still the old way where there's no recipes, so you have to look it up.
Yeah, I have like 3 apps on my phone for crafting on Minecraft. And like I'm one of those people that don't download apps and keep them on there very often. Like I have one game on my phone at a time. And it's just kind of ridiculous. But
Are you playing on PC?
yeah, I am.
Okay. After this, we'll have to figure out server codes and stuff because that sounds fun.
That sounds good.
Any more on Rust? Is anyone else started
I
playing
just
that yet?
want to kill
Eden?
Mitch. That's my goal. Is to like take down. I just want
just
to
wanna
take
kill
down his
Mitch?
empire.
Oh.
That's really my ultimate goal. No.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. They're so strong. It's like, it's insane how much stuff they have. It's kind of incredible. Like, they're based outside this thing called Hacker Valley, and they call it that because there's so much resources there that if like people encounter them and think they're hacking because they have so much, and they can craft M4s, which are they're just so overpowered in that game. Because what people don't realize is that the bow is more powerful than most of the guns, which is kind of funny because you can craft it super easy. But the M4, if you get one of those and you can learn how to craft it with a
just-
research kit,
Like,
you're
as soon
so
as you
strong.
said that, I just realized that one of my friends is in Hacker Valley. That means he's with Mitch. I have an in. It's all good, guys.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Mitch won't. Yeah, okay. Mitch was told me this. So funny. It was so funny. He said that this guy was new running through their Hacker Valley, and the guy was new, so they were like, "Okay, we'll help you out." So Mitch built him a house, and then was like, "Yo, dude, can you put the ceiling up?" And then the guy was like, "Okay." And then Mitch put a door on. So the guy
Oh
got
my
trapped in the
goodness.
house with nothing.
And
Just locked him in
right,
there.
you can only open the door if you created it, right? So he's just stuck in
Now
there.
they added this cool thing the other day, which is so great. Now, if you have a door, you can set a passcode for it. That's 4 digits, and then you tell your friends, and then they can walk up to the door, type in the passcode, and then from then on, they'll be able to
Oh,
open it.
right. Because it used to be a big pain if
yeah.
you're all sharing resources.
Yeah, it was awful. You just have to put 3 noob shacks next to each other, or have 3 doorways. But it's cool how each server is a different game almost, because on mine, the game is, we call these guys Kevlar Kings, because anyone who can get full sets of Kevlar will always have an M4 for some reason, and they're the like warlords. So the game that we play on my server, like everyone on it, is we try and take out these people. So we'll be stealthy and run out completely naked and try and figure out where they live, and then we'll just wait until they log off and go into their house, kill them, take all their stuff, break their sleeping bags. So it's just like this game of people will rise up to power, and then everyone else will try and take them
Well,
So
down.
are
naked.
you actually the kings?
No, not yet. We are getting there, because this is cool. We found a way to hide a shack in the mountains. We found a texture that is identical to the shack's wood, so you can't see our house even if you're right in front of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on with Rust. I don't know. I could talk all day about that game, but it's not for everyone. Like, people looking for a Minecrafty type of game, I would say just stick with Minecraft, because anything you build is basically a sign for people to come and kill you. And there's no PvP servers, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. People just keep killing me, and I'm trying to be nice to them.
Yeah, it's just like no one wants to be nice, which is kind of sucky. But
This one,
that's why you need to play
yeah,
with
this one
friends.
dude
At
kept
least
killing
one
me like
friend.
over and over. And I literally, just barely starting this game. Obviously, I'm new, and he's like, "Oh, I have this stockpile of rocks." I'm like, "You dick, stop killing me!" Yeah.
That's basically the
Yeah, I've been killed by many people with M4s, but in DayZ, which I played a little bit of too, but we don't need to go too much into that. They're actually adding more like primitive weapons and throwable things like hatchets or whatever.
Okay.
And then after that, the creator Dean Hall said he's going to tone down the spawn rate for those really powerful military weapons, which sounds so good.
Cool. Yeah, I'm like, playing Rust makes me want to try DayZ. I've never tried it just because I never had Arma 2. And then I was like, well, I'll wait for the standalone, and I just haven't been able to get it.
Mhm.
But they're actually taking the zombies out of Rust, which I think is kind of weird, but
Yeah,
cool.
that
Because it's kind of the same as
yeah, it could
DayZ.
have more of its own identity, I think, if they took those out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's doing really well. It's super fun, and it's competent right now. Like, everything that needs to work pretty much works. So it's even though it's an early access, I still say it's definitely worth getting.
What's everyone else been playing?
Yeah.
Minecraft and Persona 4
Yeah.
Golden. I had bronchitis this week,
Oh,
and so I stayed home for like 3 days, which is really abnormal for me. And I literally just got into like that sweaty couch slump of playing Minecraft for like 48 hours straight.
Perfect.
But
That is awesome. So what are you doing? Are you doing like survival mode, or you just get in there with creative and build crazy things?
I'm kind of a cheater, I guess. So I go into survival mode, and then when I'm like trying to get cows to come into my place or like doing anything where I don't want to get killed, then I turn it on to peaceful. So I don't know. I tend to cheat a lot when it comes to games like that, which is bad because I don't want to be like that person that like sits there and tries to herd cows for like an hour and then gets killed and then has to try again and then gets killed and then has to try again. So that's
Yeah,
been
I
my
understand.
thing.
I've in my server I just use the codes and cheat. I've put in my time mining and dying in the dark. I'm done with that. I just want to build cool things.
Yeah. I don't know. I just figured out breeding. Like I've never actually played with anybody that's like got experience in Minecraft. I've watched a few videos, but I don't know. I've got this thing about watching other people stream. I very rarely do that. I just
Hmm.
feel like I should play the game myself. Um, so I'm probably like the stupidest at Minecraft, having put in like at least like 60 hours into it.
Yeah, I just figured out breathing is a pretty good sentence.
Breeding.
Oh, I thought you said breathing. I was like, what? It's not. You just go underwater and you can't breathe. That's it.
I did drown myself today on purpose because I was
Oh.
mad that my cows wouldn't follow me. So I was like, fuck
Oh,
it.
that's dark.
I'm drowning myself. We'll go back to camp and find some cows that are better behaved.
Anyone else playing much Minecraft?
I used to play a lot on the Xbox, but I haven't really played much recently. So
Yeah, I like the PC one the best, but I can't wait for the Xbox One and
me
PS4
too.
versions. It shouldn't be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for the Vita.
Oh, me
version.
too.
I think that's a good game. Like we were just talking about this. Like someone said that they want Rust on Vita, and that's like one game where I'm like, no, because it's not a single player game in any sense. But like Minecraft and Terraria, I've been playing Terraria. Those are great single player, and Terraria's multiplayer is like super simple. It's just like jump in, jump out. Your character keeps everything. But yeah, I'm super excited to be able to play Minecraft wherever.
Nope.
Because the iPhone version doesn't
Yeah.
cut
No, it doesn't. Yeah, this could be a problem for me. I don't know if any of you played FTL, but that game's pretty cool.
Yes.
And I was like, if this is ever on a mobile device, that's going to be hugely problematic. And same for Minecraft. And here it comes. So
I started Minecraft on my tablet actually before I did the PC one, and it was limited, like in the Pocket Edition, and it was fairly problematic. I remember like Christmas Day, because I got my tablet for Christmas. I don't think I talked to anybody. I just like sat on the couch, played Minecraft, went to the bathroom, played Minecraft in the bathroom. Did everything playing Minecraft.
your family's like, oh, hey, how are you?
It
Stop.
wasn't even that, it was my in-laws. So I made a really great impression there.
Awesome.
So I don't know if I'll get
Yeah.
it for Vita, because that was a obvious problem.
I wonder what version's gonna end up on Vita. I feel like they could make the full console one pretty easily, but I'm kind of anticipating the map being even smaller or something. Like I'm always ready for disappointment with Vita because there's always like I love it. It's honest to God my favorite console, but every time they bring a game to it, it's like, well, we had to leave this little bit out. It's like that's not a little bit. That's like a really important part of the game. So I don't know, but I'm excited to try a better version than the phone version on a mobile device.
Manage
Yeah.
those expectations, though.
And
I hope,
yeah,
like,
definitely.
if they put the Pocket Edition, like, the Pocket Edition isn't that bad. It's just missing some stuff.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, the biggest problem I have with the Pocket Edition is the controls. The controls.
Yeah.
So having that controller already would probably make it that much more fun for me.
Yeah,
personally.
I agree.
Yeah, survival games. Those are on the rise.
Yeah, that's
Looks
like the thing. It's all the rage. That a lot of early access games are that theme. Like most of the big ones are survival themed. So
Are there any other bigger ones that are taking off other than Rust right
Well,
now?
isn't
that you
that
know
what
of?
Daisy is?
yeah, Daisy
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Daisy and Rust are both up there. There's like Star Forge and then Starbound,
Okay.
and you see why I get these confused. One of them is basically
Yeah.
Minecraft but in space.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Starbound?
That one.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
get the name straight. But yeah, I haven't checked out as many as I should. I'm actually going to start writing some features for IGN about just like very simple early access. Like, hey, what's the price? Is this stable? What are the features? How often is the developer rolling out
Oh, yeah.
content? How often do they take player feedback into account? Things like that, and then just release a bunch of those.
Oh, that'd be
Because
awesome.
people, it's Daisy, for example, is $30, and I don't necessarily think it's worth that quite yet. But at $20,
That's what I've heard.
yeah, DayZ is still pretty broken. But like Rust is a great deal at $20 right now.
Mhm. I think the thing with DayZ is that they're taking a mod that was already pretty like spread out in how much content there is, and then they're trying to make a full game out of it. So whereas Rust, you're starting with like the very basic form of the game, they're like with DayZ, they're taking like a game that's already pretty fleshed out and then putting it back to basics, but keeping everything in it. I feel like that's probably contributes to a lot of its brokenness.
Yeah,
I
I just
I'm just trying to figure out what makes Rust good, because it doesn't look great, but I don't care when I play it. Have you noticed that?
yeah, it doesn't look great. It doesn't feel especially good to play. It's just that emergent storytelling is really cool. Like it's hard to get that somewhere else. I think that's what is making everyone play. No one talks about Rust and they're like, oh, I had this great shootout or anything like that. They're like, oh, this guy, we found him and locked him in a room and force fed him chicken until he died. Like, it's really terrible stuff. But
Like that's
yeah,
happened. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
it
We
happens.
talked about that on the comedy button, that Anthony was doing that, and that's just like what he did for the first
yeah,
like, while.
they're
he was
terrible
playing.
people. Mitch is a bad person, and so is
That's
Anthony
why
and
we
all their
must take them
friends.
down. That's why. Just gotta shake things up. Okay.
I will help take them down.
Okay,
I
good.
will jump on that.
See, I can't make
I
Mitch
will
mad
try
because
my-
he's helping me get vengeance in DayZ. One of the artists at IGN who does all our like nice covers is her name's Katie, and she handcuffed
Yes,
my
Katie.
character, and she's like, "Oh, I thought someone had a key," and so I was stuck, and I went prone and tried to roll around and break them, and then I couldn't stand up, so I was just rolling around on the ground, handcuffed, starving to death, and so now I have to get vengeance, and Mitch is gonna help me do that.
Ooh.
Good.
Yep.
I'm excited to see DayZ get more fixed because I really want to play it. I missed that boat, and I'm kind of
Yeah, they're adding
But-
buildable structures, so that line between DayZ and Rust is blurring even.
Oh man, I don't know which one I'm gonna end up choosing. But the one thing I wish they would add to Rust is like when you research things and know how to make it. I wish your character took the ability to craft things
Oh,
between
yeah.
servers.
Oh, I've never
'Cause
swapped
that would be
servers.
super
Okay.
helpful. Because I don't think like if I swap servers, I don't think I'll be able to craft all the same stuff, and that's one of the things that would be a downer based on the game, not on my playing ability, and that's something that I don't like. Like issues that are based with the game.
Right, like you already know how to make
Right.
it, but because your character doesn't, you can't. Like, yeah, that's not fun.
Right.
I could see definitely keeping that a persistent thing.
Yeah, and like my server, like I'm having fun with it right now, but the amount of times that people will just get full Kevlar armor and M4s and just go kill people gets annoying, but I don't want to switch because I can craft so much stuff now. Like I can craft almost every gun, almost every armor now, and the explosives and C4 and everything. So it's like I don't want to lose that.
Understandable.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool though playing a game in early access, just kind of watching it evolve. That's kind of a cool experience that is coming out of this whole Steam early
Yeah,
access.
it's actually it's exciting. Like another game I play a lot is Dota 2, and every time the patch notes come out for that, it's actually like really cool. Like that sounds boring, but the updates are really neat. Same thing for early access. They're like, oh, now this thing changed, and like it's actually huge because the game is so early.
Right,
in
those are like
development.
really important to read,
It's kind of fun to follow.
Yeah.
especially if
yeah.
you play a lot.
It feels like you're a part of something that everyone else is experiencing like together, and that's kind of cool. Like it's something to talk about, which is fun. And but yeah, like I like that idea that you were talking about. We're doing features where like what's worth buying, because there's so much out there that's just garbage, and you could have a really well written description for a really crappy game, and I'm sure that tricks a lot of people into buying completely broken early access games, which sucks.
Yep.
Because I know there's a few out there that are terrible. Like World War Z, or the War
Is that
Z.
still out there?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
still
I didn't
out
know that
there,
was.
and people still buy it. It still does well. It's kind of sad. They had to change their name because of World War Z, but they're still out there. So don't buy. I think it's called Infection Survivor Stories or
Yeah,
something.
that's what it's
now.
called. Now that you say that, I remember it.
It's like such a joke. what that game is.
You know what's not a joke?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Miranda? Oh,
Persona
what's not
4
a joke?
because it's so great. Oh
I
my
haven't
gosh.
played that.
I
Yeah.
keep getting burnt
No.
out on it.
Oh, wow.
Like I play like 2 hours of it, and then I get really burnt out and don't touch it. For
What?
Like 2
Really?
days.
Like, I
I don't know. Like I still haven't saved. Like I just saved Yasuke.
Yosuke?
And then I got burnt out.
What?
And then-
You're still really early in.
I don't know. It could be like. I don't usually like turn-based combat just because of my vendetta against Pokemon from my childhood memories. But I don't know. It's just I don't like grinding, which is funny because I played Minecraft all week. But it's like
Yeah, that's totally
I don't
understandable. Like, I had that problem for a while too. Like, I just got really tired of grinding, like, especially, but at the beginning, I didn't have too much trouble with it. Like, if you get through the level, you'll pretty much grind enough, but it's like, as you get further on in the game, that's when you have to actually start grinding a lot, or else you won't be able to beat the dungeon. And it gets there.
Yeah. I have a Vita and I like it, and everyone says
What?
that's the
You
best
have a
game on the
Vita
Vita.
and you don't have Persona 4? Brian, what
I
is
don't
wrong
have
with
it.
you? I don't know. You can borrow mine when I'm done.
I don't know. I can go play like Velocity Ultra for a few hours. Like it's just a commitment. It takes like
I mean,
80
I'm
hours to
already
beat that game,
86
doesn't
hours
it?
in, and I'm not done, so yeah.
Like I'm not against long games. It's just when I have all this other stuff I need to play for work and other stuff I just want to play to keep
Right.
up current. That's
You
a
see,
long
like, one
time.
thing I do is, like, whenever I'm waiting for a game in, like, Dota or something, or if I die and it's, like, really late game, then I'll just, like, play Persona 4 a little bit. Like, honestly, that's sometimes how I play. It's, like, that good that I'm willing to just, like, kind of sneak it in wherever I can. So,
Okay.
getting crafty.
Mhm.
how many hours per week would you guys say you are playing video games? I mean, two of you are kind of trying to get into doing it professionally, and Brian, you're there.
Yeah, I'm new, but I'm here. You guys go first.
Ooh. How much? That's a good question. I never really thought about it. I think. I mean, it really depends on the week.
I'd say about 25 for me. Yeah, oh,
For
keep going.
me, sorry. It just depends on how many games I have to play. Like, over break, I got a bunch of review games all at once, so I was playing a lot. And Assassin's Creed 4 really didn't help me much with playing in, like, reasonable amounts of time. So, I don't know. This week was bad because I got sick on Tuesday. Then, so I got to miss class Wednesday and Thursday. And like I wasn't allowed to go to class, and I didn't have much homework, so I did it. I'm all caught up, so I just played video games. I've been trying to get the Assassin's Creed Platinum. I'm just trying to farm multiplayer trophies right now, and then I'm done with that. And I was reviewing Ali Ali, which I'll talk about a little later, and I got sucked into that, and then I got Rust. So this week was bad, probably about 40 hours of video games this week, I would say. But normal week, I would say only about 5 or 6 hours, just because school.
Oh, I see. Yeah, for me, it's like I try to get in 1 to 2 matches of Dota every night, but those can last up to an hour.
Right.
I think I'm like finally starting to kick that Dota addiction. Not because I don't love that game. It's just we all got better, and now we're placed against better people, which means we're gonna have to put in more time to get better than they are, and that's just the commitment is like compounding and getting out of control. And I love that game, but I have to play other stuff too.
It's like it's your job.
Yeah,
How much money have you spent in Dota?
Like
I'm always
$400.
Like,
curious.
really?
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Like I played Dota way early when it was in beta, and I went back to
Yeah.
League because that's what all my friends were playing. So I don't really know, like, what do you buy in Dota
it's
with real
almost
money?
entirely cosmetic stuff, or you can buy things that boost the points you earn after a match, so you level up, and then when you level up, you get new
okay.
items every time you level up. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I fell pretty hard for that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually bought one item that was $35, and after that, I was like, well,
What was it?
I'm ruined now. There's a new character named Legion Commander, and she has an outfit that changes like all of her weapons and her armor, and she gets this cool like fire effect. I was like, done. Take my money, Valve.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Speaking of like beta games, like Dota was, has anyone tried the Hearthstone beta now
No,
that it's open?
I'm not too into like those card-based games. They're just
No?
not
Does anyone?
my thing.
I haven't. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not from a lack of interest. I totally want to play it. I just I always get home and it's like, hey, well the Minecraft server is on, and there are 4 people who want to play, or people want to play Dota. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely should check it out. Have you played it?
I played a little bit of it. I got an early key from Blizzard, and I was like, I don't want to play this, and I gave it to my friend, and he got addicted hard to it, and I was like, shit, now I want to play it. So I played a little bit on his account, and I don't know, I don't really like card games, and it's really fun. It's just super easy to learn, but it's also a little complex in how it's played. I'm not going to explain it because it would take up too long, but it's just really, the graphics are fun to look at, it's fun to watch, and it's fun to play. And the free to play mechanic is amazing because you really just want to pay them money for how good the game is. It's never like, shit, now I have to put money in because I lost so many times. It's just like, it's really easy to get good cards without
That
paying,
is
which is
exactly how I feel with Dota. Like I
fun. Okay.
I hate playing free to play games and seeing when they ask for money. But in Dota, I'm like, this game is amazing and it was free. Like, I can give you this money. And I don't know. That's how you do free to play.
Yeah. Like if you are a good if it's a good game that I'm playing, I'll want to put money into it.
Yep.
Like I think that a lot of people are like that too, where it's just irritating to have to put money into a game over and over again. Like that's kind of unacceptable to me. And
It's a weird world.
free to play is crazy. I don't know. I feel like that's gonna balance out.
Wait, I also play, aside from Dota, I also play League of Legends, and that's pretty fun. And I think they do free to play a little bit, obviously differently, but I think they have a good way of doing it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's easy to get likable characters in League
Yeah.
without paying any money, which is cool.
I only have like 4.
Um, oh, geez, I only have 2 in League.
Yeah, I don't have many.
Yeah,
League is for
What?
babies. No, League's fine.
How much different is
A
League
lot.
from Dota?
It's like surprisingly different. Like whenever, so I started playing League first, and then I got into Dota, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to this tower. There's my little minions. They're in front of me. It's fine. And it's just not how it works. Like it just like the dynamic of everything is just so different.
Yeah, you have way more stuff to worry about in Dota
And you get cute
at all times.
couriers.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, your items have to be delivered on an animal, which can be killed, and you have to kill your own soldier sometimes. Like, it's weird. Yeah.
Cool. I want to try League or Dota. I really want to try it. I just Rust is just gonna take up all my time now, and I can tell. And
This
it's
is
kinda
happening. Yeah,
sad.
Mitch was also on the Dota train when we showed him like what it was like, and he's like, "Oh my god, this game's so good." And then he found Rust, and nope, he's just gone.
Yeah, he has. I'm looking at
Oh my
Steam right now. He has
goodness.
88 hours in it, which is it's insane. Oh man, I wish I had 88 hours because I'd have way better stuff. But it's crazy that it's one of those games where it's like all you think about because you always have something to do, which is I think how you get pulled into these kind of games. Like every time you get better, it just gives you it opens another doorway to more stuff to do. Like you build a shack and you're like, okay, well now I have to build a house. And then you build a house and you're like, well now I have to add a couple more floors and put a metal door on it so no one can get in. And it's like a constant feed of things to do, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and then eventually, when you run out of legitimate things to do, you just make up more so you can keep playing.
Yeah. Like, well, now that I have all these guns, I'm just gonna go kill people, which is what a lot of people do. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm gonna keep coming back to Rust, which is terrible for a podcast. But if you haven't played it, play it. It's so much fun.
Oh, it's rough. Has anyone else played anything else? over the past week, or well, how long has it been since your last podcast?
Oh, this is the first one in a while.
Couple weeks.
Okay.
I haven't been playing. I played Call of Duty a little bit again, just because it's one of the few games that Warren, my partner, and I can play together right now. We were playing the cave a long time ago, and I think we're gonna start that again because our save file got corrupted. But
No.
it was the worst because like we put a lot of time into the cave, and it's such a good game, but sometimes it's pretty frustrating when your progress gets deleted.
That's the worst. I don't know if anyone knows this. I haven't talked about it on a podcast yet, but my 100% save file for Assassin's Creed got wiped.
I heard there was a lot of issues happening like that.
Yeah, a lot of people's got wiped, and I only had one single player trophy left, which was to find the social events, which are, don't even get me started on how stupid they are, but when you start the game over, you only have access to like 20% of the map, and I was like, I'm not playing the story again because it's all tailing missions. So I found a forum where people would update the locations in the map of like the sharing stuff. So I just had to wait until they would pop up in the area that I could go. And I eventually got it. But there's like nothing more infuriating than losing your save, especially at 100%. That was incredibly disheartening.
Yeah. No, thank you. I really want to play Black Flag, but I will not do that until I know that that's not a thing.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, just wait, because it's a great game. It's honestly, it was one of my favorite games of 2013. Completely. I put 60 hours into it total, and the multiplayer is like the perfect form of that multiplayer, and it's okay. It's not like something I'd stick with forever, but it didn't feel like a grind getting to like the top level for the trophy. Like, it was a lot of fun, which was cool. So that game is probably actually better on the 360 and PS3 because a lot of the PS4 and Xbox One's issues stem from a bad port.
Okay.
Like issues with coding and everything. Like the biggest issue is if you have over 100 friends, because that's the cap on the 360 and PS3, you can't access Ubisoft servers because it gets confused. And it's like, wait, you have over 100 friends, you must be hacking. You can't.
That's very dumb. They should have
server.
definitely fixed that.
It's so dumb. Yeah. And they know about it because they tweet about it. They're like, yeah, we're working on it. It's like, how is that not just something you can do in a day? Because that game's been out since November.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've heard about that, and I guess no one can get like a straight answer on like when this will be fixed. It's pretty frustrating.
Whoever operates their Twitter, God bless that guy, but his job sucks and he handles it so poorly. He makes it worse because like I don't know who he's talking to at Ubisoft, but he'll just give random days for when things are going to be fixed. Like that sharing stuff I was tweeting about, I'm like, yo, it doesn't work on PS4. What's going on? And he would answer like, oh, it's getting fixed today. And then 5 days later, Ubisoft's like, it'll be fixed this weekend. And I'm like, okay, cool. So anyone who needs help with Assassin's Creed, don't go to the Assassin's Creed Twitter. I would honestly suggest going to Ubi Support direct because they don't know what's going on. It's just kind of crazy.
I'm just going to wait.
That you can, yeah, I can't even fathom how you can be that large of a company and just be so out of touch with your game. Because, I don't know, they must be working on Assassin's Creed 5 or something full force because it's insane how many issues there still are that people are like literally screaming about on Twitter that just need to be fixed that haven't been fixed. It's kind of crazy.
If anyone else hasn't played anything, we could jump into some questions.
Yeah, we could. We have so many, so thank you to everybody that sent in questions. Our first one is a little bit gross.
Okay.
What?
Chad Kreitz asks, what was your worst farting experience and why? I don't even want to answer it. Actually, I have a pretty good story about somebody else that I won't be that embarrassed about.
Yeah, I'm going to tell someone else's fart story.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, I will too.
So when I was in high school, we were at a party and we weren't drinking or anything. It was like one of those parties where you just like get together and play Smash Brothers. And this one girl and this guy were dating, and he picked her up like a sack of potatoes and threw her over his shoulders.
Okay.
And
I see where
I
this
guess
is
she was
going.
gassy, and immediately as like her butt was right beside his face, she just like let one rip, and it was super loud, and he just dropped her on the floor. And she's just like, she was red for the rest of the night, and like that was before we had cars, so she couldn't go home, and she just like sat there embarrassed, and
Oh no.
it was really gross but hilarious. And now she's okay with it, like she thinks it's funny, but
That's really funny. Mine is one of my friends. Like, I don't know, he has a problem, but he farts on like unnaturally amounts of how many farts he does a day. But at dinner, he likes to do this thing where he'll just like do a very silent one and then just walk away. But he does it that way now because the first time he did it, he like just completely ripped ass and it was so bad. And then he got up and started to walk away and he like looked back at us and started laughing. And then he just walked into a girl who was carrying like, she had a bowl of cereal and a glass of milk and like spaghetti and meatballs and everything. Just smashes her food all over her. And it was, I felt so bad for the girl, but he got nothing on him. And he's just like, oh, sorry. And then he walks out of the lunchroom, grabs his backpack and just leaves. Because he texts us, he's like, I couldn't come back because she sat near you guys. I felt so bad.
Oh.
So that was kind of funny.
I guess mine would be, what age are you when you get your driver's license or your permit?
15.
Whatever age that is. I was with one of my good friends. Is it 15? Okay. And it was an Iowa summer, which means it can be like high 90s, no problem. And it was hot, and his car didn't have an air conditioner, and there were a few of us in there. And I don't know why. I mean, he was sort of like a burping, kind of just gross kind of guy. He just like, he had the windows locked. He cranked the heat and then just ripped. And so it's like 100 outside. It's blasting heat in the car, and he farted. And I was just dying in this like soupy, like nasty car. It's the worst.
Soupy is
That's
the worst
basically
adjective.
torture.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
especially
damp
to
in there.
describe a scent.
Yeah.
Ew.
Okay, so mine isn't so bad,
Ugh.
but recently I got a kitten, and for some reason she has the worst farts. Like, for reals. I don't know what's wrong with her, but she just farts so much. And then I had all my friends over, and she was sitting in my Japanese friend's lap, and she farted on him. So I was like, oh, sorry. That's as much.
Wait, can you hear the farts?
Yeah, it's gross.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a gross little kitten. I don't know what's wrong with her. But yeah,
then
she's
she's
adorable.
cute.
You're like, oh no, that's not cute. No. that's as much as I've got with farts. Not.
All right. Okay, glad we covered
Talk.
this.
It's very important.
Someone's happy.
Devin Pitts Rogers, or at Devin JPR on Twitter, asks, do you have any memorable soundtracks in 2013? So I'm guessing soundtracks from video games or movies of that sort.
I'm gonna take the easy pick and go with The Last of Us.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Oh,
That like the subtle guitar picking, it's just so good. Like it doesn't, it's not like this like clashing like crazy, something you'd see during like I don't know, some movie with a ton of war or something like that. It's just like it lets the like quietness of it speak for itself. It fits the environment. I think it was really great.
Yeah, that's a really, really good one. I still listen to that soundtrack just when I'm doing homework and stuff. And it's kind of long too, which is good. You can just loop it. It's kind of sweet. Mine would be Pacific Rim. I really like the Pacific Rim soundtrack. I still have a couple songs on my audio playlist from it. It's just kind of like, it's not overbearing ever, which is nice, and it's good to study too.
I never saw that movie.
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
I
gotta see
did.
it.
I just saw
It's
it.
super good. I love it.
What is it about?
Robots fighting monsters.
Oh,
But it's
And
like
they're all
Yeah.
a Guillermo
gigantic.
del Toro movie.
I thought
Yeah.
it was like a
What?
war movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like it would be.
Oh, I can see that. Like a Pacific Theater. Okay, yeah. All right.
No, it's not that, but it's really good. It's like Guillermo del Toro made it, and these monsters called kaiju, they come through like a tear in the bottom of the Pacific Ocean that goes to their dimension, and so the humans all team up and build giant robots to fight them, and that's pretty much all it is. Like the story only exists to get to the next fight, and there are a lot of fights, which is really cool, and it looks good. The acting's okay, but it's like perfectly okay. Like you want it to not be great acting because it's like such a goofy, campy movie.
At the very
overall.
beginning,
And the
I kept
effects are
getting like
good.
the main character
So.
confused with like the Australian dude. Like I thought they were the same person.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
look alike. Like every young guy in that movie is almost identical to
Yeah.
the next, which kind of
Just
sucks.
like wait.
It's got a couple actors from Sons of Anarchy in it.
Yeah.
I'm still listening to like the original Hunger Games soundtrack because
Oh,
it's got Nico Case on it, and if you've listened to me do anything before, you'll know that I'm obsessed with Nico Case. But it's really good, and it's got a song with like Maroon 5 where it actually sounds like they know how to write music, and I really enjoy
I
it.
think mine this
Cool.
past year would definitely be BioShock Infinite. Like, I think that's one thing that made me freak out while playing
Oh.
that game is just hearing the like remade song. It's beautiful, like how they're just subtly hidden everywhere. This is my favorite.
hmm that was cool. It was like the coolest but most poorly explained addition to the game. Like for a few songs, I was like, "Why is this happening?" But yeah, I loved all that. That was cool.
You're
I totally
welcome.
forgot too. Thanks for reminding me.
All right. That is all we have for questions today. So I want to give a shout out before Jimmy gets into his review because this has made me laugh a lot this week, and it might be because I've been high on cough medication most of the week. But a little while ago, I guess 5 days ago, Kotaku posted a article about the Sims patch
Oh
notes,
yeah.
which are super ridiculous, especially since like it's supposed to kind of imitate real life. So there's a few examples. For example, fix for babysitter routing off lots with babies. So the babysitter would just take off with your baby for a little while. What's a bug? You can no longer try for baby with the Grim Reaper. So there's a lot of like really silly stuff. But then somebody took all of these patch notes and they started to do like fairy tale-esque artistic renditions of all of these bugs.
This sounds great.
So it's
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
simspatchnotes.tumblr.com. And so I'm just looking right now at the one for toddlers can no longer get fleas, which was an issue that they had a while ago. And they're just like really gorgeous pictures that this person does of all these issues. For example, they have one for Sims who are on fire will no longer be forced to attend graduation before they can put themselves out. So they have this kid that's on fire sitting at graduation, and it's just like really well done, and I think it deserves a lot of attention because it's hilarious.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
And this is for The Sims 3? Are
Yeah.
they still patching The
Yeah,
Sims 3?
it's still super buggy. Like I play Sims.
How broken was it?
It was always super broken, and I don't know what's going on over there at Maxis because Sims 3, like, it crashes so regularly for me, and it's just, like, I love Sims, I love SimCity, but I wish that they weren't so shitty because they're so full of bugs, and they always crash for me. SimCity was a little bit better. With some of the recent expansion packs and patches, they don't crash quite as frequently, but I can't play Sims for more than an hour without it crashing.
Yeah, I have a
right
lot of
now.
problems with it as well. I really miss playing Sims 2. I was so addicted to it, and I had like about all of the expansion packs. So those were the good days.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Sims 4 in some ways, but at the same time, I always get, like, I've played Sims since the first one, and I always get full of dread because when I move over, I'm like, oh, okay, well, now I don't have any of my expansion packs. I
Right.
can't have my freaking turtle in my cage. What am I gonna do?
Turtles don't live in cages.
Or tank.
Same thing. Old tank.
That's super funny and kind of terrible. I never even knew about The Sims 3. I just thought that game worked because it's still being sold.
I just forgot about that.
Weird.
When
a
did that come
long
out?
time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Time ago.
Like 2008, I think. It was before I
Jeez, and they're
graduated
still
high school,
patching it.
so
I mean, good luck. Like, good on them for continuing to support it until
Yeah, they still
now.
throw
Like,
out
jeez, man.
expansions.
You think they'd have a
So
new one out by now?
yeah, they
Wow.
just like released 3 this past couple months already, I think. So I don't know. The Sims franchise is super good at milking
but they come
the
with such good
cow.
expansions though.
Which-
There's like
Milking the cash
I
cow.
don't know which one it's called for Sims 3, but there's like fairy tale or kind of like magic ones. So then like your Sims can do magic things and they can get new jobs and then he can get vacations and then they can go like travel to different places that are like tropical or like it's like Asian. Like yeah, there's so many different
What?
things. And then you can get university.
Yeah, there's one called
Oh yeah, that one
Island
too.
Paradise, and you can
Oh my
like
God.
own resorts and just like live off of your resort and the money that it
hell?
brings in.
Oh, that's cool.
What is
It's
this
magic,
game?
that's what it is. And now I kind of want to play it.
I've never played it.
Yeah,
so
like I
addicting.
used to sit for days on end. Like it was on a Humble Bundle recently and I rebought it. Okay, you need to
I have
play it.
that.
I bought it
Oh,
and I
jeez.
downloaded it and then I played literally for 12 hours straight. It was sad.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Me
Oh, I
and
remember that,
Katie
yeah.
Casarda have been tweeting at each other all week, trying to tempt each other to play Sims as if we were each other's addict instigators. And it's just like, I don't know. I love The Sims so much. And it's ridiculous because, like, I bought it at launch and I still play it. And there's no other game I've ever been like that with. And I don't know. It's just so good. It's just too good.
I will avoid
too
that.
buggy.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna play it because I'll fall deep and I'll feel terrible, and that would not be good. I can't believe that though. Wow, that's kind of like blew my mind. That's such a expanded game, and they're
Like,
making 4.
year.
Like that's coming
Yeah.
out soon.
Finally.
That's coming out this year. And, like,
Oh my god.
they're still doing so many patches that you wouldn't think should happen in, you know, a game that's out to release. Like, another one was the Murphy bed, like those beds that come out of the wall, has been made less lethal. So I guess people were standing by the Murphy bed and just got killed.
What the heck? Wait, so are you guys gonna buy 4?
Oh yeah, I'm getting it
Or-
midnight.
You're still gonna buy it even though the
I mean,
last
they're not
2
like
games have been
crazy
broken?
bad.
Sims
yeah, no,
2
Sims
wasn't
2
that
was
broken.
great. Like I don't really remember having problems.
Oh no, I meant like SimCity and Sims 3. Those have
Well, you
been, like-
bought SimCity.
I didn't know that it was bad.
Really?
Okay, guys, listen. This is what
Really?
I told the story a million times. I am like a super big advocate for Crisis, even though everyone hates it. And Crisis 3 and SimCity came out on the same day, and I had a gift card to GameStop, so I bought Crisis and used the gift card on SimCity. So when I played Crisis, I missed all the news on SimCity not working. And then so I started it up like after I beat Crisis, worked totally fine. And I was like, oh, cool, this is fun. And then they were like, hey, you get a free game. And I was like, why do I get a free game? And then I looked it up and I was like, whoa, this game was broken as shit. It was crazy. So I just got really lucky.
But, like,
And,
when we played it together.
Oh, yeah. By
For a
that time I
while.
knew. Yeah, we played it and it was pretty broken
And it was
still.
fine. It
No,
was
it's-
like, it didn't crash. Like, there was obviously issues with the simulation, but
Like
we
the
were
game.
able to play for, like, what, 4 hours?
Yeah.
And
The traffic was the big thing that is still not fixed.
yeah, and, like, I got the expansion pack for that, the latest one, the one about the future. I don't even remember what it's called. Cities of Tomorrow. And that does fix a lot of the issues, but it just adds in a whole bunch of new ones.
Great. Yeah, okay. I played Ali Ali. It's for review. And it's a 2D skateboarding game for Vita. It's a Vita exclusive. It was originally going to be an iOS game. And James Marsden from Future Lab, they made Velocity Ultra. He played it on iOS and he told the guy who runs Roll 7 who made the game, he was like, yo, you should put this on Vita, contact Sony. So it moved from iOS to Vita, and I'm really glad it did, because the way that I explain it is if you took Cannibal and mixed it with EA Skate, and it's not an endless runner, but the levels play out like them, and it's basically like the old Tony Hawk games where you're score chasing, and the way you do tricks, which is why I liken it to Skate, is you use the left joystick to move or to do different tricks. And there's no manuals, and so if you land, you're done with the run. And there's levels where if you land, you can keep going, but the main thing to do is the spots, which are just try and do an entire one combo run through a level. And it's got a really good online functionality where it always is showing you your friends' scores. So you always want to go back and keep playing it and beat your friends more. And it's always creating competition. And it has this thing called daily grind, which is my favorite part of the whole game. And every day it gives you a new level that's basically one long combo. And you can practice it as many times as you want, but you can only run it for real once.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, and it doesn't let you run it for real until you finish it once in practice, because I always find, and I know they did this on purpose, if I run through it once on one practice round, I can usually do really, really well without knowing the level. But once I learn the level, I anticipate things, and I anticipate them wrong, which makes me fall. So I had the game a week before it came out, and I've never gotten a score over 1,000 on a daily grind. But I still try every day, and it's still really fun. And it's kind of crazy that the highest scores are super, super low because no one ever finishes them, because it's really weird. So it's like a daily leaderboard, so you can get your name at the top and everything if you do moderately well. And yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's a great
I have
meeting.
a code for that.
Yeah.
I just haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you have a lot of free time, check it out, because you'll, just like all these other games, you'll really, really fall deep into it, because the other thing they did to make you want to keep playing is they put a restart button like Hotline Miami, but their restart button is always in the top left corner of the screen. So you'll like get pissed that you fail again and can't beat this level, and then you'll like go for the power button of the Vita, and then you'll see this little restart button tempting you, and it's right under the power button, and you're like,
I can't let this game
go for
beat
one
me.
more. It's like one more time, and you're mad for 2 seconds, and then you hit restart, everything's fine, and you're like, go through the level, and you might beat it, you might not. And I have one more objective in the entire career, and it's insane. It's like 50 spins on one level, and I can't get it. But there's secret things you unlock after you beat everything, like a new mode, and it's only $12, and you get a lot of time out of it. I think I've played in like 15 hours already.
Does it feel like it could play just as well on iOS?
You know, I was thinking, on that podcast that we did last week that we kind of lost, I talked about it. I didn't know that it was going to be an iOS game first, so I was like, man, this would really work well on iOS. And I was pretty early into it, and I didn't realize how many tricks there are, but there's too many tricks now for it to translate well to iOS. But I'd love like a free-to-play, or not even free-to-play, like a 99-cent endless runner version, where all you can do is like grind and jump and spin.
Okay.
And do like little variations. It would work, but it wouldn't work in its current form. Like, it's kind of, I don't really see, if they make a sequel, which I'm sure they will, I don't really know what they could add to make it better or worse.
Okay.
Because it's kind of reached its perfect form already, which I guess is almost a downfall. But yeah, I don't think I would have even noticed it if it was on iOS. So that's one of the better things about the Vita pushing indie titles to the front of the store. You like notice these things more.
Cool.
Yeah. I reviewed it for randomhavoc.com. I gave it a 9.5. Just
9.5. Wow.
absolutely, yeah, downright incredible game. I can't recommend it highly enough. Even if you don't like skateboard games, it scratches that score chasing itch really well, and it makes you feel really cool when you're playing it.
Does it make you feel as cool as when you smoke cigarettes?
Well, I wouldn't
Does it make you
know,
feel so
but
cool
I'm
you want to
sure
wear
it
your
does.
hat backwards?
Oh yeah, you have to have a trucker hat on when you play, because the character does, and if you put on a trucker hat, you just have this connection with the main character.
That's how you cheat.
That makes it that much better. Yeah, he like just knows what you're thinking, and he'll know if you're gonna mess up. It's pretty cool. So wear a trucker hat. Yeah, it's really good. I can't recommend it highly.
Do you think you would have scored it differently had you not worn a trucker hat while playing?
I didn't learn about the trucker hat thing until after I reviewed it, so maybe I would score it better now.
Re-review.
10 out of 10.
It's great. It's so great. It's one of those games that you just have to play to really understand how great it is, because it sounds like it's just a mashup of things that have already been done before, but when you play it, it feels really fresh and really new. Like there's nothing like it that I'd rather play. It takes all the best parts of other games, which is cool.
Sold.
Yeah. Well, you have
Yeah.
a code.
So it's easy
Yeah.
for me to say that. Yeah.
Miranda and Eden, you guys have to
Well,
buy
I
it.
do have a
It's
Vita,
totally worth
and I
it.
do have $10 in my wallet. So
Well, there you go. Yeah.
All right.
Do you think that the people that maybe weren't that into Skate and Tony Hawk, would they still like it? Because it's kind of not quite
Yeah,
there.
yeah, definitely. It's like, I feel like those games both got kind of too complex as they went on. There's so much stuff to do. There's just like, I feel like it's great that they left out manuals, which are, in Tony Hawk and Skate, you basically use manuals to continue a combo. It's kind of like a cheat almost. And not having those in there just makes it feel less like a skateboarding game and more like a score chasing game, like an endless runner. Because to grind, all you have to do is just push down on the joystick, and that'll always get you on a rail, and then you can do cool tricks off. But there's a bunch of different grinds too once you start to learn more. And the objectives make you learn new tricks, and you don't even realize it. But you'll like need to do a certain trick for an objective, and then the next level you'll find yourself doing that trick, which is cool. Because you don't even realize you're being taught
Yeah,
how to play.
that's really smart design. Instead of just like, here's a tutorial for the flip kick 90. No, you don't do that. You just learn it through the game. That sounds cool.
Yeah, you just know how to play by the end. Like I felt like I was so shitty at it in the first level, and I still felt like I was kind of bad at it by the end. And then I go back and look at how many levels I've completed and how many tricks I can do now. I went back to the first level where my score was 9,000, and I was able to up it all the way to
Whoa.
170,000 after I beat it. And I was like, whoa, I learned something. That's cool. So yeah, that's a awesome game.
Cool.
And I hope it sells well.
Yeah, me too. Because iOS is, the potential for something to take off on iOS is huge, and not quite so much on Vita. So
Right.
hopefully it does well.
Especially for the smaller games.
Right.
So
okay.
everyone buy it. You
How
have
many
to buy
units
it.
of Vita have been sold?
I think just a couple million.
Yeah.
Just a couple million. Interesting.
Yeah, but Sony is gonna announce most likely the Slim Vita this Thursday at an event here for the US. So we'll see how that changes it. I don't think it's gonna do that much, but I don't know. Maybe the Vita TV will come out.
I really
here and
want one
people
of
will
those.
hop on that. Me too. Just
I
for
do
the
too.
PS4.
The T Vita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
T Vita.
I want that a lot.
That's awesome.
I can't take credit for that. No, I want that. The Slim Vita is okay. I like the original Vita more, but I haven't tried remote play yet, but I've heard it works well.
I played half of Assassin's Creed over remote play.
How was it?
And it was totally fine. It looks a little worse, like it's downgraded just a little bit, but it works really well with Assassin's Creed. It works well with Need for Speed. I wouldn't obviously play an online shooter with it, but it works really well for what it is. Very little latency at all.
Good.
So the Vita TV, you could have a PS4 in every room technically, which is cool.
All right.
That would be nice. All right, so let's wrap up. It was a great week. Thank you to Brian and to Miranda for coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks for having
Yay.
me.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you for being on. If you want to get in contact with them, you can follow Miranda Sanchez on Twitter at Havoc Rose, and you can also follow Brian at Albino Albert. And if you want to get in touch with the show, you can tweet at Jimmy and Eden, or at either of us, Jimmy Champagne or Eden the Cat. And we'll see you next week. We'll be uploading every Wednesday morning from now on. So let us know what you think in iTunes, and you can send a review, and we'll love to get those from you. All right. Have a great week.